The next witness we have is by recording Dusty Deevers, the state senator in Oklahoma. He had session today. I recorded examination of him, very short, 7 minutes. I did swear him in on our phone call. So if you'll play that video for the jury, that'll be Senator Dusty Deevers. He'll explain. Senator Deevers, we're going to record this video. I understand you can't be with us during the proceedings, so we're going to record your testimony. Before we begin, do you swear or affirm that what you're about to say is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Okay. Could you tell the jury your name and what your titles are?
Well, my name is Dusty Deevers, and I'm a Southern Baptist pastor at Grace Reformed Baptist Church of Elgin, Oklahoma. I'm also a state senator for Senate District 32 in Southwest Oklahoma.
And are you educated in the Southern Baptist Convention? What's your education?
Yes, I have a Master's of Divinity from Southwestern Seminary with the languages. I went there from 2004 and graduated in 2008.
Okay, I understand that in 2023, you had an interaction with Kevin Ezell at the Southern Baptist Convention's annual meeting.
That's correct.
And before we show the clip, just give the jury context for how it was you came to interact with Dr. Ezell. What circumstances led to you talking to him?
Well, leading up to the annual meeting, there was a lot of background discussion on the North American Mission Board, and they're actually utilizing and not just promoting, but planting churches with female pastors. There were a lot of folks talking about it. At that meeting, we were voting on whether Saddleback Church was going to continue in with Rick Warren as a pastor, whether they're going to be seen as in good standing with the Baptist faith and message. And I thought it was appropriate that since we were questioning whether Saddleback should remain in good standing because they had female pastors, where Andy and Stacy Wood left Echo Church from to go to Saddleback, I thought it was appropriate to ask about the Sin Network and NAM's participation with Echo Church and Andy and Stacy.
Okay, let me share what I believe is that clip, and we'll watch it together. Can you see that?
Yes.
And your question.
Yes, my name is Dusty Deevers, and I'm a messenger from Grace Community Church of Elgin, Oklahoma. Dr. Ezell, I appreciate your time. In light of the fact that we are voting to remove Saddleback, can you walk us through your thought process for using NAM pastor Andy and his wife, Pastor Stacy Wood's NAM Planted Church as a church planting training hub for the North American Mission Board? Thank you.
Sure. Andy's church, Echo, was planted 2 years before I went to the North American Mission Board in 2010. We utilize facilities all over North America for our training events. We try to utilize venues that have churches that can accommodate those, and Andy's did. We also use Marriott, we use a Hyatt, we use a lot of different places that don't, that we would not particularly agree on certain stances. We're just trying to accommodate in hard areas. Andy's church at that time was outside San Francisco. But again, who allows us to use their facility? We go to a simple process. Is a church in good standing with their state convention? And if they're in good standing in the SBC, then we utilize the facility and honestly have utilized facilities outside the SBC. We've utilized, there's been Episcopal churches in the past and others who have allowed us to use their facility just to have planners have a place to meet, because some of our church planners do not have a permanent place to meet. They meet in schools and theaters. We don't have access to those during the week. So they're doing their very best they can in a mission setting. And so it's really utilizing a facility. And so I hope that answers your question. If not, feel free to email me. I'll be glad to go into more detail if you'd like.
Okay, Senator Deevers, we've played the clip, and first, was that a true and accurate recording of your full question and his full answer?
Yes, it was.
Uh, and Senator Deevers, in your opinion, was the answer honest in the way you'd expect of a Christian ministry leader?
Well, I've thought about that a lot since then, and I would absolutely say it wasn't honest. Kevin Ezell had prior information that that question was going to be asked. There were Tom Buck and Tom Askell had already been addressing these matters. And whenever he stood before the Southern Baptist Convention, you could see he took two long, awkward pauses. And I think at least he misrepresented the truth to the messengers. And I say that because not only did he have background information, but so did we. And when he was pressed on why NAM's Sin Network was using Echo Church as a church planter training site, he claimed that it was nothing more than neutral facilities, just another venue for a church from a church in good standing. And I think that was an absolute misrepresentation of what was true. Echo Church was planted in 2008 by Andy and Stacy Wood, and Stacy served as the teaching pastor right alongside her husband. They later left and went to Saddleback, where Rick Warren was. And then Felipe and Mandy Santos, who were on the founding team, and she was a pastor. His wife, Mandy, was. And when the Woods left, Felipe became the lead pastor, and his wife also serves as a spiritual formation pastor. They also have Vivian Dorflinger. I'm not sure if she was there at the time, but I have, since looked, and she's the executive pastor and sits on the board of trustees. And there's another lady named Sarah Rogers, who's a campus pastor at the North San Jose multi-site. So I don't think that it's true that that Send just rented a room. That's not the case. They made Echo their official Bay Area training hub. And Felipe Santos directed the church planters assessment retreats. So it wasn't just a site. They had pastors and female pastors. And Felipe, after Andy and Stacy left, he led the church planters assessment retreats and was an official Send Network trainer. And Andy Wood himself even taught portions of that planter curriculum. And NAM, I think knowingly, not just I think, they knowingly elevated this multi-site church with multiple titled female pastors, and they were utilized in teaching and campus pastoring and executive pastors and spiritual formation pastor roles. And they turned that location at Echo into a flagship location to train the next generation of Southern Baptist church planters through NAM and the Sin Network. So no, it wasn't just an oversight, and it wasn't just a facility. It was a deliberate use and complicity with a violation of what has been historically the Baptist position on pastors being male only. And so through Send Network, NAM didn't just tolerate women in the pastorate, they actually platformed them and funded it, and they reproduced it. So I think Southern Baptists deserve the truth and not just carefully worded deflections or distractions.
So, if I can summarize what I heard you say, that in responding to your question, you believe Kevin Ezell omitted material facts, and therefore his answer was not completely true and honest in the way you would expect of a Christian ministry leader.
That's absolutely the case.
Thank you, Senator Deevers, for your answers. I have no further questions.
Thank you, John.